Yo, yo, get up, nah I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back, better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna look back. Never gonna look back. Cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast. And that's facts.
What's up, Chicago? It is 48 hours about, honestly, probably to the dot, Cliff. The draft starts at 7, around 8 o'clock, although we know the draft can take a little longer. Who knows if it'll take a little bit longer than 48, but about 48 hours till the Bears are maybe on the clock at 10. Who knows? Maybe they trade up, trade back. There's a lot of talk about all that. We'll dive into it here on the Chicago Sports Podcast. We want to thank everyone for tuning in here right away. Got 10 in the house already. A lot of eager people here for some Bears news, Cliff. And if you're all brand new, be sure to hit the like button, comment down below, subscribe button as well. Hit the notification bell. Like I said, got less than 2 days here till the draft. You're not going to want to miss any new information about the Bears' potential draft plans that might come out. Again, who knows if it's all real. It's a lying season, as what's his name? I'm blanking. Chicago sports radio guy, he coined it. Oh, man. I mean, he didn't coin it, but he said it last year when he was on right before the draft. Oh, my God, I can't believe I'm blanking. Oh, Cap. There it is.
Dave Kaplan.
Cap said lying season. Yep, Dave Kaplan said lying season, less than 48 hours. Lots of teams that say they might want a guy. Who knows if they actually want said guy. But see, OK, Steve in the chat, David in the chat, and Erica as well as Trax, the CEO of the Chicago Sports Podcast. Hope you guys are all doing well tonight. Cliff, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing fantastic. Like you said, 48 hours, a little less than 48 hours for pick number 1, or the official start of it, because what do they have, 10 minutes for the first round?
Yeah, but as we learned last year, if you have the number 1 pick, you're forced to wait a little bit.
Right. But, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. It's one of my favorite times of year, got to admit. I mean, there's certain sports days on the calendar that especially the NFL draft, which for me, I get kind of giddy, because you see all the changes we made this offseason, bringing in Ben Johnson and his fantastic coaching staff. And not only that, you upgrade the interior of your line. So that makes you excited because you knew that line was trash last year. And, you start feeling the spring in your step. They had their voluntary training, whatever they had going on over there at Hallis Hall.
Training mandatory camp or whatever.
It wasn't mandatory.
Not mandatory. Yeah, not mandatory. Voluntary.
Yeah. So, and everybody's excited. It's because we don't know what to expect. You got the anticipation. Pick number 10 comes. What are they going to do? I hope, honestly, Mike, I hope they do not trade up, because I don't want them to waste the draft capital, because we need, if we don't need studs, we need depth. No matter what we need, we got needs.
Yeah, definitely a lot of needs out there. See Squeegee in the chat, but we got one more guest here for you guys tonight, welcoming in the Bishop into the Tuesday night show. How you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing well, fellas. I'm doing well. Thank you guys for having me tonight. I do appreciate being on with you guys, and I'm excited about being 48 hours away. Are we that far away? Yeah. From the upcoming draft. Yeah, about 48 hours. Yeah, man. And I was listening to you guys while I was sitting in the studio waiting to come on, and I'm with Uncle Cliff, man. No trading up. No trading up at all. We need all the draft cap. Actually, I actually have a scenario that I've been playing around in my head for the last 24 to 48 hours, with all the talk about the potential, who's going to be the number 1 quarterback, who's going to be the second quarterback taken off the board, who's going to be the third one. And you look at the teams right now who really, really need a quarterback. And I'm just going to throw this out here. We've done business with them previously since Poles has been as a GM. Now, many of us wasn't happy with the results of the trades.
Where you're going with this one,
but there's a team. There's a team in Pittsburgh that needs a quarterback, and it makes sense for them to come up to 10 because they don't have a second round pick. So it's not like they can afford to wait and then, jump back in or wait for a guy to fall to them in the second. And I don't feel that this young man is going to fall to 21 because there's a team in between there that would say, hey, look, we may not be in need of a quarterback immediately, but why would we let a guy like that get past us when we can grab him now? And I'm talking about anybody from 11 on down to 20 before the Pittsburgh Steelers pick. Therefore, I see them making the phone call if it hasn't already been done and it just hasn't been talked about, where they're going to come up to 10. We'll go down to 21 because as much as I know everybody wants Ashton Genty to be our running back, because it's so deep, this draft with running backs, we can definitely address that either at the 21st pick or sometime in the second and or third round. So that's just my take, fellas. I'm gonna get out the way and let you all go ahead on. But I had to get that off my
Well, there's
chest.
no reason
Oh,
to
I
get
feel you.
no
Yeah.
reason to get out of the way. That's fine. I get it. But you know what? The only way we do business with Pittsburgh after the Chase Claypool and the Justin Fields trade, where we got what, a 6th round?
Yeah.
But that's not their
no,
fault.
I know.
That wasn't
That
their
was
fault.
our fault. So now it's time for us
Yeah.
to get a little bit back. If they want to move up, we make them pay.
Oh well, yeah. Of course, that's going to happen. The thing is this: we'll trade places with them. We'll go down to
I
21.
can see that.
They don't have a second to give us this year. So what I see is we take their third or maybe even their fourth, because a lot of these quarterbacks aren't considered rated that high. So getting a third or fourth in this year's draft and then get a second next year that can help us, I think would be adequate enough.
Right.
I mean, and if we could get something, a second and say another a fourth or a fifth next year as well.
Yeah.
Hey, but swapping spots and getting somebody in the third or fourth round this year, as well as duplicate that for the following year, I think would be suffice for the number 10 pick. I think if we could do it like this, what did we give up to move up to number 11 when we drafted Justin Fields?
I am so glad you said
Do you
that,
guys
because
remember?
I was about to get into that, because I know you guys were talking about giving, like, maybe getting a third back, but we had to give up a first, guys. We had to move up 9 spots. So Pittsburgh's at 21, we're at 10. They'd be moving up an extra 2 spots. We had to give up a first and a fourth and a fifth, including the move trade back.
But think about this though, Mike. I get that, but Mike, think about this. That crop of quarterbacks had a lot more cachet to them. So it made the pick a lot more valuable. I don't think that pick is as valuable this year as it was 3 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So
I get that.
that's where we're kind of at in that, far as for quarterback. Absolutely. Now, if somebody wants to come up to get their defensive end or their D tackle or whatever, that's a whole different ball game. But when we're talking about these quarterbacks, unless, and then, and somebody just put it in the chat, maybe swap with the coach, because are the coach really high on Anthony Richardson? Or would they be willing to maybe try to go get a Shador? But I don't see them doing that, honestly. I don't see them doing that, because you're trading apples for oranges in this case. Pittsburgh needs a quarterback. Yeah. They got to be concerned with making sure. They got to first make sure that New Orleans isn't thinking about maybe drafting Sanders. So that's the chess move that we're going to have to really pay attention to, because I think 1 through 5 is pretty much set. Anything after 5 is the chess moves that's going to be played here, as far as who needs a quarterback.
Yeah, that's when it starts getting dirty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I think back to your point earlier, Bishop, about the value of the pick. I agree. If you're telling me is Justin Fields a better prospect than Shador, 100,000%, absolutely. I also just don't think that's the Bears' fault. I think if they want to move up that far, I just think it's just more of how much you're moving up. Again, obviously it's for a quarterback. I think if you got to move up double-digit spots for a quarterback, I still think you got to milk a first out of them. Maybe you don't got to give up an extra fourth or fifth. Maybe it's just a fifth or a sixth. But I still think you got to get that first. They're coming up that far.
Yeah.
Especially since we've helped them out in the past.
You know what
like
else, Mike?
Fields, I think they got to give us one
Yeah,
back.
but you know what too? Think about this. Let's scan their roster really quick. Do they have a player that we could potentially use that they can afford to give up?
Maybe. I don't know it off the top
That
of
they
my
can
head.
afford to give up? I don't know. The only one I was thinking about was TJ Watt, but that's not.
Well, no, at this point, man, he's a little long in the tooth, man, and his injury. So, I mean, you got to think about it. If it's a guy that if we're looking to poach off their roster, I would think skill position, maybe. So we don't want the headache in the room far as the receiver they got.
Yeah.
So I mean, what other positions do they have where they actually have somebody that you would want to bring into our locker room? And that's the thing. That's the thing. They really don't have
I'm
anybody.
looking at it right now.
If
I'm
you
like,
really think about it,
your best bets are like Jalen Warren and Pat Fryermuth, and none of those are needle movers to me. I don't know about you guys.
No, I agree.
no, not at all. No, I agree. No. And we can't. We definitely can't ask for DK Metcalf because they gave up a second for him.
And there's no way Poles wants George Pickens in the locker room.
Oh Jesus, no. I think, and trust me, that might be who they say. Hey, we'll give you George, and no, we don't. You can keep him. We don't want him. So it's going to be interesting, man. That's all I can say. Thursday night is going to be interesting because I haven't seen a draft like this in a very long time where the clamoring for a quarterback isn't that high. Normally every year, that for sure you're going to have at least 4 quarterbacks going in the first round. This may be that year where if 3 are drafted, I think we'll be doing good. That's just my take because I think everybody's pretty much. There's only a couple teams that really need a quarterback. The Giants being one, but I don't see them making a move. I think they're going to run. I think they're going to run with Wilson and with Winston and if they do, they probably draft a quarterback in the 3rd or 4th round, something like that. New Orleans definitely could use one. That's the other one. That's the sneaky one there. That's the one that if I'm Pittsburgh,
that's what I'd be watching.
Absolutely. That's who I'll be keeping my eye on, man. So they might leapfrog us and call. It's they have to go to 8,
right?
To beat New Orleans from getting him. So this is going to be interesting, and all this talk about Jackson Dart and these other guys, Milroe and these other quarterbacks, is just all a bunch of chatter just to keep everybody engaged and excited about Thursday. I think I'm not trying to take anything away from those guys. Each one of those guys are talented in their own way, but I wouldn't spend a number 10 pick on a Jackson Dart. That's just me. I mean, and the only reason why I would even consider Shador in the top 10 is, consider what he actually had to work with 0 offensive line, and the kid was the most accurate quarterback in football, in college football. That's saying a lot. And his offense was very vanilla. They didn't do no pass, no play action and no jet sweeps and all that other stuff. It was under center or shotgun, and I got to get rid of this ball as quickly as possible because my offensive line can't block its own shadow.
Yeah, no, I see David talking about Pittsburgh trading down and snatching up Louisville, Tyler Show. I mean, there was this earlier. This came straight from Shadur's mouth. I just grabbed it off of Twitter. Someone asked him his Mount Rushmore of duos were alongside Brady, Gronk, Rodgers, Devontae. Said whoever that QB for DK and George Pickens is, whoever that is this year. I don't think we all got to look too far into the mirror to see who we might be talking about.
Look, and it's funny you just put that up, Mike, because I did catch something before we went on, guys, where they did it's just a 27-second clip of Mike T talking about his I guess Shador was there today or yesterday. I don't know. But apparently they had a chance to really sit down and they talked ball. Of course, he said literally less than 2 minutes about his relationship and how long he's been knowing knowing Shador's dad. And it was all about ball. And, Mike T is real good at holding his cards close to his chest.
He's not no rookie.
But I will say he seemed to be a little, I won't say giddy, but
a little excited.
Mm-hmm.
I recall when he said we should have went and got Justin because we liked him and we didn't. I don't think they'll make that mistake this time. And I know everybody's worried about the Kenny Pickett thing and all of that. I don't think it was so much Kenny Pickett's ability to actually play quarterback as much as it was his attitude is the reason why they decided to part ways with him.
So let me ask you this, Bishop: who do you think the top 4 quarterback prospect? Okay, so Cam Warren's going number 1, right? Cam Ward number 1 to Titans, unless the Titans trade out. But
they already said that they're not. They said
and you got Shador, Howard, right? Ohio State. Where would you put him? Jackson Dart. Where would you put him? Who am I missing?
I put Dart before Howard, and I'm a the Ohio State Buckeyes fan, and Howard's not a first round pick. He's not.
So really, you're only talking 3 quarterbacks in the first round? 3.
I might say 1. I might just say 1. I might just say Ward. I think Shador's close, but I can't believe that an NFL GM. I'm not sure how much you guys watch college football, but I watched that Ole Miss Florida game.
I watch it all. I watch all of them.
Then
brother.
Bishop, I cannot believe a GM would use a first-round pick on Jackson Dart after seeing that game.
I'm with you. Don't get me wrong, bro. But we've seen crazy. But we've seen crazier things, Mike. Yeah. That's the thing.
What we think should happen, or what we think will happen compared to what should happen, and GMs don't do probably what they should.
And all honesty, if we're really comparing apples to apples when we talk about Cam Ward and Shador Sanders, the only difference in their game is 2 things. Cam's release is a little faster, and he's a little more mobile in terms of his quickness. Shador, but what I like about Shador, his accuracy, you cannot deny it, and he really knows how to move it within the pocket when necessary. And let's be honest here. If you've been around football as long as I have, let's talk about pedigree. The kid is ready. If anybody's NFL ready up here, it's Sanders.
Probably, yeah.
He's been groomed around. He's been groomed, and he's been prepping for this his entire life. The kid knows what comes along with all of this, man. We can poo-poo on him all we want because you may not like his dad. You may not even like his approach to some things. But one thing we can't deny is kid can play. And let's be honest, he threw to a Heisman Trophy winner. So that's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, no, good points. But we know that we're not looking for a quarterback, right?
Yeah. Feels good.
We definitely not. It do, man. That it does, man. I gotta be honest, Mike. You hit it on the head, man. To not have to worry about that this year is breathtaking, man. I mean, literally breathtaking. I'm so glad. I'm really glad we don't have to worry about that. But now the question is, what are we looking for?
I'm so glad you said that. And I think before I'm going to transition into that, I'm going to thank everyone in the chat one more time for coming out here tonight. If you're brand new, there's a lot of people in the house tonight here on a Tuesday, a lot of draft anticipation, as I'm sure everyone here in the building is having those pre-draft jitters. So if you're brand new here, hit the subscribe button here at the Chicago Sports Podcast, notification bell. There's a lot of rumors. Who knows? We might have to go live emergency. You're not going to want to miss any of that. So hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of that. And drop a like as well if you're here. There's a lot of you here. I'm sure there's not enough likes that match the amount of people here. So just go hit the like button. It takes literally half a millisecond to go do that as well. It helps us out so much here at the Chicago Sports Podcast. And transitioning back into the Bears, we've talked a lot about trading down because there's a quarterback needy team, not just Pittsburgh. There's a few others that you could maybe see moving up with the Bears at 10, especially if the board doesn't fall the way that they totally envision that it should for them. But a lot of the talk I think I'm seeing now is about a team moving up. And it's not entirely not maybe all the Bears, but there's a lot of Bears insiders that are taking notice to people that are talking about a trade up in the next 48 hours for this draft. And I don't know, guys. Like I'll say right now, I'm a big Ashton Genty guy at 10. I'm not a big Ashton Genty guy at 5. Like there is a big difference there trading up to 5 because that's really the only guy I could see maybe them going with. Maybe you say Mason Graham, but even then, I think it's between those two.
I'm not trading up.
Yeah, I'm not either.
I'm not giving up the draft cap. I'm not giving up the draft capital to do it. I mean, there's look. There are literally seven, if maybe 8 blue chippers in this entire draft, bro. I'm not moving up from. To me, the 10 is the new 1. The number 10 pick is the new number 1. Honestly, that's how I look at it. I think that pick has more value to the Bears at number 10 in terms of being able to get additional draft capital to address our depth and fill a couple holes that we need to fill, and we'll be fine. We don't need to exhaust any additional draft picks from next year or the year after that to move up a couple spots for who?
Well, and that's just it too. I'm looking at it like if the Bears were let's say an Abdul Carter away from being a long run into the playoffs, then I'd be like, okay, go for. I don't think we're going to do Abdul Carter away from doing a long run into the playoffs. What I think the Bears need, and as we said before, is the draft capital. Okay, the thing that I would look for most is trying to add to that draft capital. So if the guy that they're looking at number 10, or if nobody falls that they really want to take a shot at, that they think they can probably get at 39, then trade out a 10, trade down, pick up some picks. Depending on who you're trading with, you might drop down to where's the Steelers? They're 17th or
21.
21.
Okay, where's the Colts?
14, I think.
14, okay. So I saw a bunch of scenarios where the Steelers and the Colts were talking about trading with the Bears too. But yes, if the guy that they want, they covet, if they have to reach for him, I'm like, back off.
Mm-hmm.
Let's try to add to the draft capital, and definitely, like you said, Bishop, we got depth that we need. We need depth at the O line. We need depth at the D line. We also need depth at the safety, and I would even say corner. And to me, I'm going for the big uglies first. So if there's a nice left tackle at 10, I probably would pull the trigger on that, unless somebody made me a hell of a deal to trade out.
That's honestly, Uncle Cliff, I'll be honest, that's the only position I would take at 10. If the old lineman, if that tackle is there that I need, and feel that it has to be a difference maker, and in all honesty, for a number 10 pick, that person has to come in looking to start. I'm not picking 10 for a guy to sit on the bench and develop. I'm not doing that. And when we talk about defense, when we talk about D ends, let's go back and take a look at Coach Allen's defenses. He's never had bookend D ends. That's not who he is in his schemes. He's always had that one primary end, and then he moved everybody. He moved all the other guys around. He's a chess player, man. He moved guys around. He put guys in key positions. He's real good at shifting guys around in the defensive backfield. He'll move a corner to safety, a safety over the corner, different things. He's not. I don't see where they would. It'd be real. I would be real surprised, to say the least. Again, it's either going to be tackle and somebody that they know can come in and is going to immediately start, and they're going to have to figure out what they're going to do And that's also would be if they don't think Braxton Jones is going to be ready to
Right.
go
Mhm.
week one. That's the only way I can see them doing it. Other than that, I think I see them rolling with him because he's in his contract year. They're going to keep the other young man that they're going to continue to develop, and they're going to, if necessary, he'll get a run before they do that. I don't see them doing that. I just think that number 10 pick is they're waiting on a phone
Right.
call, and and the right team calls, they're coming up out of that spot because I could see them maybe taking Omari and Hampton at 21, or if he's going to be available in the early part of the second, if he's not available, then they'll take one of the two kids from Ohio State, maybe. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then this also, Mike, I don't know if you have the list. Who were part of the 30 visits, far as
I think I could
would you
find it
consider
real quick if you give
key
me a bit.
position?
We know
Yeah,
Genty
who was the
was.
part of the 30
We know
visit?
Warren was. Trying to think. I think the Campbell, wasn't Campbell one of them too?
Are you just looking
Was
for
he-
guys at 10? Like more than like options at 10?
Well, no, the guys that came in for the
Yeah.
30 visit, right?
Yeah.
For the 30 visit, but then let's take a look when you look at that list. Let's look at it twofold.
Religious. Yeah.
Who would be worth taking at 10? A sure no pass up if available at 10, and if we traded back rather and I'm going to keep using Pittsburgh as our trade partner. Who would we want to take at 21?
Here, I got it right here. Actually,
That could be
I would
available.
Trax wants me to shout out that Chicago Sports Podcast will be at the Wind Creek Casino in Chicagoland with Bears Jim Miller this season for watch parties the entire season. Just got the contract worked out with them, so he's very excited and wanted to thank everyone in the chat that's here
perfect.
tonight because without you guys, really, it would never have happened. So just want to share that with everyone. Big thank you to everyone
That's
in the chat, and
super
a big
huge,
congrats
man.
to
Yes.
Trax as well for getting that nailed down as well. And I just got the list here.
Track's gonna find a way to get me on a plane and get me out of Texas and get me up there to the casino.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun. So here, this is the list that I found.
Okay.
I can try and get this out of the way. All right. Well, Kyle Williams isn't a consideration at 10 anyway. I think we can leave it there.
All right. So those guys would be available at 10. Huh?
So at number 10, let's take a look at this, Unc. If it's me, I see Will Campbell. If he's available, yeah. And even with that, do we really know his actual arm length?
No.
Because that's been
I
questionable.
think it is
That's been questionable.
I like that Josh Connerly, the tackle from Oregon too. I like him. But
I do too. I do.
I
do too. But I don't think he would be there. I don't think he's going to be there. I think he's going to be an early pick.
I think Campbell's arms were 33 inches.
33,
which isn't too bad.
Because look, everybody's talking about the Raiders and Genty. The Raiders need offensive line, man, before they can go get a running back. Because right now their offensive line was like ours last year. Can't block his own shadow. They need help. So it's very possible that Genty could. Now, if Genty falls to 10, okay, yeah, we got to take him. And sorry for any trade partners that want that spot. Oh well, y'all duke it out.
Right.
After the fact, But other than that, man, I look at Genty, I look at Campbell. Let me see who else. Of course, like you said, Connerly, and I'm gonna tell you a kid I like, man. I hope if he's available at 21, I'll take him. That Brashard Smith from SMU. I like him. If you guys haven't watched any tape on him, take a look at him, man. Real speedy kid, real speedy, shifty, solid runner, man. Real solid runner. I would, if he's available at 21, yeah, snatch him. What I don't see on here is a running back from Ohio State.
I don't either. That is a good point.
I didn't see him either. That's the guy I was looking for.
That So that kind of tells me a little something. You got Caleb Johnson on there though. Okay. So that kind of tells me a little bit about um what Coach Ben Johnson may be thinking in terms of his offensive scheme.
Right.
Because you look at the running backs. You got Genty, you got Smith. Those are your burners. And then you got Caleb
Yep.
Johnson.
Yep.
He can do
Hampton, Amarian Hampton too.
and yeah, Hampton is not so much. I wouldn't call him a burner, but he's shifty. He's got speed, and and Caleb Johnson will be that guy that can either run between the tackles or he can also get outside as well. So I'm telling you now, they're looking for who they compare with Swift. And if it was me, I'm looking at Brashard Smith to put with him, or if Genty's available. That would be a really good two-headed monster.
Right.
Because I think Swift is going to be, and we just celebrated Easter, right, going to be resurrected by Coach Bieniemy.
I believe in you. I believe in that too. Bieniemy is going to make a big difference in our running back room. There's no question about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's going to make a big difference on the offensive side of the ball, period, because he's there to be the checks and balances for the entire offense, starting with the offensive line, with the blocking schemes, and then with the tight ends. And of course, his primary hand is going to be on that running back, in that running back's room, but he's going to also be instrumental in the development of Caleb. Because again, look where he was at. Look, who else did he help develop? And everybody is trying to find the next Patrick Mahomes. So what better guy to have in your building that's been around it, like
Sure.
a Bieniemy. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of NFL experience that they've brought in with some inexperience, which is a good balance. I like that they did in the offseason because obviously Ben Johnson's first-time head coach, he's probably going to have to feel some things out in the first month or so. But he's got a lot of experience, even with his defensive coordinator, Dennis Allen, who, again, is probably going to be one of those guys that not a good head coach, but damn good defensive coordinator, and he can give him some tidbits beating around there as well to be a better head coach. A lot of experience, but, guys, is it time that we hop into a mock draft? Do we try and do this ourselves?
Hey, I always like doing the mock drafts. They're a lot of fun, and I noticed that.
I'm here for a bit, guys. So yeah, you want to go ahead and take a stab at it? We can definitely take a stab at it. It's going to be interesting. I'm here to tell you right now. I'm all for trading back. So I'm just saying.
I'm gonna pull up the other.
But if you have a difference changer, or who you think is a difference changer, landing in your lap at number 10, chances are you're probably going to take it. As I've made mention numerous times on these, the guy I don't know why. Well, I do know why, but the guy I love is Tyler Warren. I watched enough of his games with Penn State, and I know it's a tight end. Do we need a tight end? Well, they're talking about bringing in.
Yeah, we do.
So
yeah,
why not
we do.
Get the guy I think is the best one in the draft this year. But
honestly, if we look at our tight end room, outside of Cole,
exactly.
What else do we have?
So that's my guy. But like I said, that's a dream scenario for me.
I was getting ready to say, because my next question to you, Unc, is, do you think he would be available at 10?
I don't know. Looks like majority of the things I've seen. Now, granted, it's all mock drafts, so we don't really know what's going to happen. But I see the Jets pulling them a lot from a lot of the different drafts or mock drafts. And I'm trying to think of who else I saw. But I saw him landing in my lap numerous times when I ran it. So, I'm just saying. I'm interested in him because I think the kid's a tank. I think he's such as I mentioned before, he's a Swiss Army knife. You can stick him at fullback, put him in a slot, use him at tight end. He's a great blocker. The kid runs. He's like the Energizer Bunny to me. So it's like, kind of running through brick walls and stuff. So I'm smitten with him. Let's just say.
I hear you. I know. I like him. I like him a lot.
Yeah, I think he.
I do. I just don't think. Again, that's another guy that I just don't
Right.
think
We'll be there.
is going to fall to us. But again, like I said, we don't know. To me, the key to this draft is Shedeur Sanders to flip it one way or the other, whether he goes at 3, whether he goes at 9, or somebody comes up to 10, or somebody looks to trade with us to come up to 10 to get him. That's going to be he's the chess piece that we got to keep an eye on to see exactly how things are
Right.
going to go.
Right.
That's just my that's my gut. I really feel that,
No,
man. I
I
really
hear
do.
you. I hear you.
All right, time to get this thing underway.
Sure.
Let's get it going. What we got
You
here?
guys are all good. See, this is the only problem with this mock draft is I think it's very unrealistic because there is no way Will Campbell falls to 10. And I mean, they have Cam Ward going off pick 8, but I mean, just looking at this order, I mean, that's some of the players you might expect, just maybe not the right order. But I'd say there's really no shot Will Campbell falls that far.
Well, okay. Now that since we're talking about it, until we get ready to get started, another kid, man, we got to really think about: are the Browns going to take Travis Hunter at number 2,
I think they will.
or are they going, or are they going to take a DN? Come on now, we got to let's really think realistic in terms of needs
Yeah, but
versus
with
wants.
Cleveland, wow, that's pretty much a train wreck in itself, anyway. But
Thank you.
if you took Abdul Carter on one side and you got Myles Garrett on the other, that'd be deadly.
Yeah, I mean, I've said that for the longest time that they should take Carter and probably have the best pass rush duo maybe in the entire league. I mean, I don't think that. I mean, especially if Carter is as good as advertised, I don't think that's too big to say that would be the best pass rushing duo in the league. But it's just based on what the Browns GM has been talking about. I mean, the dude came out and basically called Travis Hunter the future Ohtani of the NFL. It sounds like something you'd say about a guy that you plan on drafting, and they haven't really talked at all about Abdul Carter. I think they should take Carter. I think they're going to end up taking Hunter.
Yeah, I would agree. I think they are too. I'm kind of surprised New England takes Membo too, or Membu.
Mm-hmm.
We were just talking about him before he joined us, and that's why Will Campbell's sitting in our lap at 10. So do you take him or do you pass on him?
I mean, I think if Campbell's there, you kind of have to take him.
Well, I mean, if Campbell's there, you got to take him.
I agree. I agree. I just threw it out there.
Poles would need added security to come to Soldier Fields if he passed up on him and he was there at 10.
Well, you do have Calvin Banks not too far below it, so but I would have taken
Calvin Banks. Calvin Banks not a top 10.
Yeah,
he's not a top 10
I'm
guy.
with you, Bishop. If they stick at 10 on draft night and the pick is Calvin Banks, I might not be conscious when the 49ers get back on the clock. I might have already downed a whole bottle of Jack.
There you go. So I'd say we take Campbell at 10. That's
if Campbell's available at 10,
you take
him to the podium.
I'm not going to be mad. I'm not going to be mad because look at it this way too, because this is what could happen. Let's just say, for kicks and giggles, you do take Campbell. Now he can either and let's say, for instance, Braxton Jones have an outstanding year to where they coached him up, got his base in order to where now he can handle the bull rush, and he really held his own and had an outstanding year. And Poe said, you know what, I got to reward the guy. I'm gonna extend him. I'm gonna pay him. Now you took a Will Campbell. Of course, you're not going to keep him as a backup tackle. What's going to end up happening? Now he's going to go over the guard.
Yep.
He's going over the guard.
And that'd be better if he's got them short hands.
That as well. With that being in question, so if this isn't a more confusing draft because we really just don't know how the chips are going to fall, which I think makes it all more exciting and why everybody's going to be tuned in.
Yep.
So
Yeah, I mean,
I
we
don't know,
could
man.
try and look
Wow.
around a trade back. I don't know if there even is. I mean, there's
Yeah,
not
but-
really an offer.
Yeah,
There's
let's see
not
if one's available.
I don't think there actually is an offer.
If you got
available.
Will Campbell sitting there and one of your needs are offensive tackle, then you got to take him. Now, if we were sitting there and he was gone and Genty was gone and
yeah, like if the Saints took him and then this was the board and then you just add in Barron, I think. Yeah, I just feel like with this board you have to take Campbell.
I would.
And Mike, it's funny you said that because they need offensive line too.
Yeah, no.
So it's not, and that's another thing. I know everybody said that they need a quarterback, but is Spencer Rattler really that horrible?
I think he is. But I think also with the Saints, it's are you ready to draft a QB? I think that's the problem a lot of teams make is they take the quarterback and try to build the team around them. And you have to build the team. You have to be ready for a quarterback. I don't think the Saints are ready for a quarterback. You have an old Alvin Kamara. You have Olave, who hasn't lived up to what I thought he'd be. And then outside of that, you really don't have much. I mean, your left tackle just retired.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying you go take a tackle and you continue to, for the time being, you run with Rattler. I mean, the kid can be coached up. He at one point he was considered one of the, he was considered a top QB. So it's not like the kid doesn't have talent.
Mm-hmm.
He just needs to be harnessed and needs to be developed. They just got to take the time. But when you're running for your life because your offensive line, and we've seen it ourselves firsthand, is running for his life because the offensive line can't, again, I'm going to keep saying this, can't block their own shadow, then the guy's going to look horrible.
Yep.
So, but again, it's going to be interesting, man. God, dog, why can't tomorrow?
I know,
right?
I'm ready. So
I'm good with if you guys are to take Campbell here.
Let's take him.
All right.
Let's take him.
All right, now this is where the fun part begins, where we have no idea what the hell can happen in the second round.
So okay, go up. Who did the Steelers take at 21, or did they trade with somebody? Did they pick before 21? Are we able to see that?
Yeah, there they are. They're at right.
They took Hampton.
They took Amari and Hampton.
I don't know if.
Oh my God, that might get Tomlin fired.
Yeah, I don't think that would happen. I'm trying to look.
Come on, man. I mean, you got Mason Rudolph as your quarterback. You cannot. Now, here's a scenario, too, that we haven't thought about, guys, and a name that kind of got quieted because they went ahead and paid him his $10 million. Don't be surprised if the Atlanta Falcons don't be considered a trade partner and they end up trading Cousins. That could be a move that I could see Pittsburgh making because I think if it's me, I'm gonna be honest. If I'm Pittsburgh right now, I'm calling Aaron Rodgers and tell, hey, buddy, you can go ahead and retire because we're cool on you now. We're not gonna destroy our locker room because we decided to wait on you, bro. You don't know what you want to do, and we don't have the time to wait on you, bro. So we're gonna move on. So I could see that move, and I don't think that would be a bad move for them if they thought about getting Cousins to at least give them some relief for a year, and then they can take a look and see who's going to be available next year.
Oh, wow.
But again, they're going to be in the same scenario. They're going to be picking around 2021 like they always do.
It's true.
Yeah, so
because Cousins can get them to the playoffs. Now they're not getting out of the first round, of course, but they can get to the playoffs if they can keep Cousins upright and healthy.
I keep seeing that they're looking to trade Cousins.
Well, that's why I said Atlanta went ahead and paid them. So instead of just cutting them and letting them go, which was smart, pay them, and then we'll use them for if we want to. We can use them. Somebody wants a guy, need a veteran QB, bad enough. Yeah, we'll trade them because now they can get extra capital.
But Cousins does have a no trade clause. So he's got to find a place that he's willing to go. So would he be willing to go to Pittsburgh? Probably, because
of course,
it's a perennial playoff team.
Man, look, you get to throw to DK Metcalf. Yeah, I'm out of here. I'm out. I'm gone, bro. Yeah, first thing smoking.
Yep.
I mean, looking at this, fellas, getting near that 1 hour mark. I have about 15 minutes here before we start wrapping it up. Got 3 important picks here. I mean, there are some pretty damn good names here still available for the Bears, including a running back that I'm a big fan of, still sitting around here in the second round. I mean, if they take a tackle, theoretically, even if it's not Will Campbell, I don't think that's a name that'll be around. But even if they end up taking a Kelvin Banks, I think running back would have to be a target at 39 or 41.
Right.
And I mean, it'd be hard to pass up on these two at the top.
That's
I love
what I
these
was
guys
say.
so much, especially Walter
Yep.
Nolan. But
Nolan,
I mean, it feels like you have to get your running back, I think, here. Or maybe not here,
Yeah,
but I think it has to be.
running back would be my third pick, man. And I like Judkins.
I like that Scattaboo too. I think he's pretty good, and he'd probably be there at 41. And I don't think I mean there should be some others available at 41. So here I would go back to the all page that you had there, and I would go. Me personally, I would. I mean, I know we need some help with safety. I would probably go with Nolan, the D lineman.
Yeah, I think it'd be hard to pass up on Nolan. I mean, I feel like that's a mid.
Well, yeah, we need the depth. We need the depth. So yeah, take him.
All right. And
now,
we still got our pick of everyone because Saints went with the wide
so there
receiver.
you go. Now you grab a running back here, and probably still have. Look, you got Travion Henderson there. Also,
I like Judkins out of the 3. Out of Johnson, Judkins, and Henderson, I like Judkins over the other 2. That's me. But if it's not Judkins, I would probably take Caleb.
Okay.
I think I have Henderson 3, then Judkins 4, then Johnson 5 for running backs. But they're all pretty close, I think, in that tier.
Yeah, I just think I like Judkins just a tad bit better than Henderson. And trust me, both of those are my running backs. So again, when you think about pairing them with Swift, as far as a compliment, that's what we got to think about. And that's why I lean. That's why I lean with Judkins over the other 2.
All right,
Yeah,
I'm good
I
with
think
it.
we can go with that. Yeah.
And now we get number 72. Okay.
I'm not trading with Green Bay.
Oh, hell
no. No.
Honestly, looking at this board, I mean, I think they'd stick and pick here. Just look based on those first 4 names.
Yeah. Exactly.
I think the board actually felt pretty nice. I like Watts a lot.
Yeah.
I think
I'd do that.
Scrolling down, see if they had anyone hiding down here, but I don't think they really do. Especially with what we've already taken. I don't know. I really like Watts.
Okay. So that 72 pick, let's talk about the big board. We want to take the best athlete at that point. So we've been talking about depth. So we've addressed O-line, we've addressed D-line, we've addressed running back.
That's why
3 major needs.
That's why I think I would go with Xavier Watts, because we need safety help too.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's where I'm going. Yeah.
All right.
There you go. Boom. Look at that. A+, 2 A+, and 2 A's.
I like that average.
You can't beat that. You can't beat that. Right.
That's pretty good. I dig it.
Yeah, that's real good.
God, let us in the war room on Thursday.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm at to send polls. I'm at to hit polls on X and be like, hey, polls, can you give us a call, man? We this is what we think.
Chat, what do you guys think? What grade do you give us? I know there's A's and A's pluses here. What does the chat think about if this was your draft haul Sunday afternoon? What do you guys think? At least with your top 3 or 3 rounds. I mean, a trade back, who knows? Maybe they get a little bit more, but we just stuck chalk. Haven't seen anyone yet.
No.
So yeah, Squeegee just no in all caps. I'll take that as bad.
Okay. So it's horrible. So these are not A+ or A's.
I don't think so.
No, I'm pretty happy with
Yeah,
it. We're taking.
we're fine.
Yeah.
We're fine with
I
our
like it.
picks. And Squeeze, I got nothing but love for him, but no, I like our
Oh yeah,
picks.
especially Campbell falling to 10. That might be the steal of the entire draft. Especially if even if he's a good guard, I think you can be happy with taking a good
Sure.
guard at 10. Especially if he becomes a good left tackle at 10, A+, easy.
Oh yeah.
So what's our next pick?
I just did the first 3 rounds because I think it's in the 5th or
Oh, you
something.
just did the
Yeah,
first 3 rounds?
just
Okay.
first 3 rounds.
No, that's cool. Well, those are all great picks. Honestly, you can't go wrong. You feel a need, plus
Mhm.
depth. You can't answer anything else. And that running back choice, I think, is a great complement or pairing
Swift.
with Swift, and still having and keeping Rashawn Johnson as your third down back, your red zone back. So I think that's a good choice there. Watts definitely would be a great addition to that
Mhm.
secondary because he's versatile also. Although we need safety help, he can be moved around. And this is the thing. That will also kind of help solidify some things because they're talking about how they can try to find out a way to get Kyler Gordon on the field more, maybe even moving him around to safety at some time. So if you have some interchangeable pieces in that secondary, that really helps too. Which and Lord knows we need the depth. You know, um, I'm hoping for Tyreek Stevenson to come in a lot more mature and ready to rock and roll because I think he going. I actually think under Al Harris he can have a breakout year.
I think he's probably going to have the most upside this year because he needed it last year and nobody was around him in line.
Yeah,
You know.
no, no, and that's what I said, Coach. I mean, Uncle Cliff. I think honestly, if you think about it, man, I think Al Harris is going to get the absolute most out
Yep.
of him. And the fact that if you look at where Al Harris has
Mhm.
coached, his defensive backfield, their their takeaways increased. They become ball
Yeah.
hawks, and they're very disciplined guys. Um, and I think see some amazing play out of our secondary. Which is going to help, which is going to be tremendous because I I see that defensive line. I think Coach Allen is going to move some pieces around. I think they're going to wreak havoc. I really believe they're going to wreak havoc because I
Yeah.
expect Dexter. I expect Dexter to have a breakout year also.
Yeah, I think Dexter's going to be doing.
You
Dexter.
guys see he slimmed down? How he almost looks like a DN now?
Oh,
Yeah.
bro, yeah. You see, he's definitely he shredded some. He got rid of some fat. He leaned up for sure.
Maybe he's going to want to try to get on that other side across from Sweat, and
Yeah,
then
Well,
try.
no,
bring in
no,
with D line.
no. He actually said he's been working on. He worked on his footwork.
Yeah,
He's been working on getting off the ball a lot quicker. So he said he had to trim. He had to lean down some to so add some more
sure.
speed and some power. So that's what I'm saying. I think he's gonna. I think we're gonna see. And this is I'm going out on a
He
limb.
posted he put that on his own Twitter today, just a couple hours ago.
Look like Tommy
That
Harris
don't
to
look like
me.
that don't
Yeah.
look like the big defensive tackle of last year.
No, it looks like Tommy Harris to me.
He does.
So it's gonna be interesting, man. Let me ask you guys this, man. I know we've been talking about the draft and everything. What are your thoughts on what do you think we're going to see out of Caleb this year?
I think you're gonna know exactly a lot about Caleb, and you're gonna know a lot about Ben in the first 5-6 weeks. I think
I
you're
would
gonna know. I think there's gonna be a little bit of growing pain. I'm not gonna put everything into like the first couple games or so, but I think you're
Hmm.
gonna know right away. I think if this is gonna work or not. Maybe not. I guess I just said not right away, but I think you're gonna know soon into the season whether this is gonna
right.
work or not. I don't
Well,
think it shouldn't be something that we have to sit here and say, nah, give him another year. It was his first year. Give him another. Because how many NFL teams do we see that they're able to match these guys together, a quarterback and a coach, and it just works right away? It just works. It's typically not something that it has to take a year or two. It's very rare cases that that happens. And Caleb is as talented as any quarterback I've seen coming out of college, and Ben Johnson's one of the best minds I've ever seen be available as an offensive head coach, maybe outside of Kyle Shanahan. When you have two guys in that tier together, it just feels like the odds are so stacked against them not working out that he's just going to be good. How good? I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and say Mahomes, Allen, because those guys are probably once in a generation. I think though he can easily sneak into that top 10. If he's, I think easily into that top 10 list of quarterbacks by the end of the year.
I would agree. All you have to do, Bish, is just look to Detroit. Look what Ben did with Jared Goff. And I think Caleb's a heck of a lot more talented than Jared Goff is. My personal feeling. So I think that it's going to be huge. I think the number one thing is you got a whole coaching staff that is just going to be head and shoulders above anything we've seen in years on the sidelines for the Chicago Bears. And being able to take Ben Johnson with Caleb Williams, I think it's going to be magical. Yeah, I said it, magical. I don't know. I would agree with what Michael said. Maybe week 4, but there's going to be growing pains, of course, unless they click right away in OTAs. And it's possible because Caleb he's got it. He's got the it factor, I think, from what I saw last year. And I don't care what anybody says. He was running for his life, and you fix that O-line with those 3 players you just brought in, even if you still have Braxton Jones on the left. I think it's going to be special. I do.
And we all watched the Super Bowl and how Mahomes looked. Even the best QB that maybe has ever touched a football talent-wise, if your O-line cannot block, you cannot play the position. I felt bad for Mahomes I felt even more bad for Caleb because he experienced that probably 14 of the 17 games he played last year.
Right.
You just can't play quarterback how he was last year. And the fact that even he wasn't as god awful and he still showed flashes of talent, it makes me really excited what he has with a now rebuilt O-line. He still has 2 good receivers, and presumably you're going to add a weapon or 2 here in this draft. It should be 4,000 yards minimum. It should be 25 touchdowns minimum. I'm expecting big things. Again, top 10 QB jump.
I like it.
Well, that's why I asked the question, man. That's why I asked the question. Yeah. No, I feel the same way. I honestly, I think that they're going to click during training camp and much needed reps during the preseason to get him ready. So I don't want to use the first 3 to 4 weeks for training camp. I mean, for preseason, I want him to get his reps in preseason, get his cadences down and get everything, get that continuity together, which they've been throwing with each other here all off season anyway. So I'm expecting some big things. And I just think Ben Johnson's got a couple tricks up his sleeve. And the fact that we're going to actually have a real running game this year, too, is going to take a lot of pressure off the kid. So I'm expecting big things as well. I really am.
Yep. I think that's a good spot to end it on tonight, guys. Appreciate everyone that came in the chat. There was a lot of people here. I was watching this number up here in the corner. There were a lot of you guys sticking with us through the entire time, and the number kept going up. So appreciate you guys. And if you are brand new here, be sure to hit the like button, comment down below, subscribe button as well. And if you're on Twitter, Facebook, whatever, hit the follow and notification bell. They got those on those other apps too. It's not just YouTube. Thanks to everyone in the chat again. Got Melon Smasher, Ricky, Squeegee's always in here. Appreciate you. Tracks keeping it down. Antmass, Trump _2024, some other Cheryl as well, giving us some updates with the Sox and the Cubs games. Although it looks like both of them sadly aren't going to pull out the W tonight at this point. But who knows? I expect the Cubs have a little bit better of a shot than the White Sox. But Mind of Murdoch in here as well. Some other one, David as well. I believe I got you earlier. Don't want to miss anyone. But if you guys got nothing left, I think that'll do it for us here tonight.
I'm good. Let's go for Thursday.
Let's go.
I appreciate
Thursday.
you coming
Let's
on
go.
here, Bishop. Really appreciate you.
Thanks for having me, fellas. Thanks
Mm-hmm.
for having me, guys. I enjoyed it, definitely.
Yep. Again, hopefully maybe 48 hours from now, the Bears are on the clock. Have already made their pick. So exciting time here as a
Look,
Bears
hey,
fan. So
if we happen to
should be
be doing
fun.
the show, I may be calling. I may call into the show, man. I might jump on, man, from wherever I'm at, man. And I'll probably have a glass of tequila in my hand. But let's go.
I'll be in the
Let's hope it's good vibes and not what the hell did we just do?
Positive
Absolutely,
thoughts.
fellas.
Yeah.
Positive thoughts.
There
Yes,
you go.
positive
There you
thoughts
go.
only. We're going to do the right
I'm with
thing.
you.
I like that.
Yep.
I like that. Positive vibes only and
Right.
bear down, everybody.
Bear down, everybody.